And we are live. Hello, and thanks for tuning in. This is the SuperBoss Podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Ian, and I'm joined by Harrison and Luc. If you're a new listener, we talk about anything ranging from movies, comics, to video games, or just whatever else we feel like talking about. Yeah, so you can watch all the episodes you want on YouTube or listen to us on a podcast thing. Yeah. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. I guess first, as we always do, as we are wont to do on this show, we ask each other what we've been up to. So,
So
Harrison,
Ian, what have you been up to?
Ooh,
you
I
gonna,
heard Harrison first.
you just gonna,
I'm gonna
You-
call it out like
hijacked.
that.
you just gonna
The bet
hijack,
was I said it and
hijack the host.
betting the fact that you would ask me first. So I'm
Mm,
actually, it was a 50-50. I
Mm.
called it. I'm so good.
called it. I mean, well, what has been going on with me? I saw Dune. That was cool.
Luke, did
That
you
was
see it too?
pretty interesting.
Yes, I did. I saw it in theaters,
Uh,
and it was really good. I
Um,
have minor gripes with Dune, but they're very minor.
hmm.
and did you watch it on HBO Max, Ian? Or
Yeah.
Yeah,
The Max.
I have not. I was going to watch it this weekend,
That's-
actually.
Oh,
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah. Or at least that's the plan so far.
Mm.
So
Mm-hmm.
we were going to last week, but then things popped up. Because how long's the movie again? It's like two.
it's like
Isn't it
2
2 hours?
and a
Long
half
movie.
hours. I think.
Yeah,
around 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was just timing. Like we were, because I really wanted to watch it because I figured by the time we talk, I already knew you guys would probably watch it. I'm like, all right, I'll watch it. Oops, didn't watch it.
Mm.
But yeah, cool.
I saw that. I've been playing a new game came out recently called it. Dude, I
It's a
feel
fake-
like I've been
it's a
seeing
fake
so
title.
many
Fake title.
fake title. I've been seeing so many of these like games that are really good, but just with the most generic titles that just kind of blend together. But this one is Age of Darkness: Final Stand. It's RTS, zombie horde mode of a game. Basically, it's in early access. But it's really fun and it's really tough because there's a lot of zombies.
I didn't realize it was a RTS actually. I just
Yeah.
knew it was a zombie game, but I didn't know.
It's
RTS.
kind of in that. It's in this new wave of RTSs.
Yeah.
Where it's not
okay.
so much like super high APM, like planning phases and all that. It's very much a They Are Billions like game where it's because you can pause it, which is
Mhm.
kind of breaking the R in the RTS, but it's like wave based
Okay.
instead of a traditional StarCraft or Warcraft
like
or I'm trying to think of the
Age of
other ones.
Age
Yeah,
of
like
Empires
like
or-
those.
Yeah, all that. Yeah.
Because you're not like playing against people, at least right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you have like a certain amount of day and night cycles that you loop through until like what was it called? I think they just call it a nightmare.
Yeah.
Happens, and then like
Mhm.
zombies
I'm gonna be
swarms
right
from,
back.
like a random okay, from like a random point on the map, and you have to like plan for that and plan a little bit on the fly for it as well. So it always makes it like new and
Gotcha.
interesting.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like it's kind of roguelike-y right now.
Yeah.
But I know that they have plans to put in like a scenario mode. I don't know if that's going to be like their campaigns or something.
Mhm.
But right now you only have like one hero. But they're planning on adding like at least 2 more. And then like
Okay.
new units and stuff. They have like a whole roadmap for it. But it's been pretty
Gotcha.
fun. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
Uh,
Okay.
There's another game that came out recently that's an indie, but I'll wait till Luke gets back to talk about that because I know he's been excited for it. As excited as Luke gets for things, he's been pretty excited for it.
That's fair. Yeah, because I was gonna say I did see you on. Oh my god, I can't. I know it's every time I see it, I'm like, oh, that's a long name, and I always confuse it with something else. Because I've been seeing you online for the past week or so. I was like, oh shoot, he's like in. Because before that, you were playing Star Wars, and then I was like, oh, this dropped this month. Well, I also saw this trend, like that game trending for like the past week too. So I'm guessing it just came into early access, or has it been in early access since something happened?
No, it recently released as early access. Yeah.
Okay.
So that makes sense. Now everybody's.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because I saw you on that for a while, so I'm like, oh, that's cool.
And stuff.
Probably.
Yeah.
And then what was the other game? No, it looks bad.
I mean, well, I don't want to it's fine. The other game that came out, that Luke probably wanted to talk about, is Darkest Dungeon 2. Or actually, is that out or is that just early?
Well, yes, early access. It is out.
Okay. Yeah.
Dungeon
but that
2?
game came out. Yeah, Darkest Dungeon 2. The first one came out. How many years ago?
2016.
Old.
2016.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, that's longer than I thought.
That might have been. No, I guess that would have been 1.0. I think was 2016.
Yeah.
Oh, is this like when you say 2, is it like 2.0 or is it like
No? Darkest Dungeon 2 is the sequel.
Okay. I was just making sure. Yeah. Okay. Oh, okay. I get what you mean. Like it was early access prior. Okay.
Yeah, like both are early access.
Yeah.
One is done, and 2 is the new one that just came out.
Is it on Steam?
No. I believe it's on Epic for now.
Okay.
It had an early exclusivity deal. Both times, I think. So.
Gotcha. Okay. Cool.
Yeah, boy.
Oh, so you've been on Epic for that thing.
I actually haven't played it. I've been watching.
Oh, never mind. Oh, you've just been watching. Okay, I thought you were playing.
It's because I keep talking about it every time we go to the gym. It's like I was watching someone play Darkest Dungeon 2 again, and
I was gonna say I was surprised. I was like, so what are you actually? Because I still have not touched Epic as many games as I have on that thing. I just don't have it on or installed anymore.
I haven't either
because I have no need and or care.
I should though. I mean, do they still do the thing where you get like a free game?
Oh yeah.
They still give like free games every once in a while.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's like a good amount every time. I'm like, they actually have a good selection every time. I'm like, wow, this is cool. Or at least like one of like the 2 or something, right? Whenever like there's always something. I'm like, all right, I'd actually.
They tend to do. It's like, at least from what I've noticed, it's like an indie game and then like a bigger game.
And a bigger game. The indie, yeah. Man.
That's
anything else, Ian?
No, that's about it. That's all the exciting stuff, anyways. Yeah. That I can think of. Yeah, that's everything. Okay, Harrison. Now it's your turn.
I'll take it back now. I'm done hijacking. So because I've been out of time for like the past couple weeks now, so I haven't done. So we've been watching more since my fiance finished a test and we were just trying to do some more stuff because I couldn't really play too. It was funny because like I left and I joke around with her. I was like, look what you've done. I literally just got the PS5 and I was gonna play other games, but now I can't. What's happening? So last thing I was playing was Ghost, but I haven't played as much.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But it's just because like my roommate's been playing Final Fantasy. So I was like, all right, I'll let you do that. But now he's playing Metroid, so I'm like, all right, now I can play PS5 again. But really, I've just been playing. He's been playing Metroid Dread. Yeah, he's been. Nice. Dude, like the amount I've seen in that, because I'll probably play it after he's finished. Because at the rate he's going, he's gonna finish soon.
It's a pretty short game.
It's pretty short, yeah. But he literally just bought it like a week, like less than a week ago. So I'm like, dang. But it looks really cool. I was like, damn. Otherwise, I've just been playing Halo just because I don't know. I've had this thing of like I didn't know what to play for a bit when I got back, but I told you guys off the podcast, but got back into Teamfight Tactics.
Oh yeah,
Super ran. It was like during when I was with my fiance, and it was the weirdest thing because I was like, I want to play an auto chess. I want to play an auto battler. Why? I actually had this conversation in my head the entire time. I was like, why do I want to do this? Why am I doing this? All right, let's see what other ones have come out since. And I'm like, they've come out, but they never really had anything interesting. And it was also like I understand TFT a bit better, even though they've had a lot of changes. But I mean, the new set comes out soon, so I was like, all right, I'll just play now to get like the gist of if there's any big changes to like like rotation or like anything like that. But got back and I'm like, wow, I'm still having a lot of fun. I was like, wow, this is cool. So I'll probably play a lot more once the new set drops because it's weird because it feels like it's been a while since like I don't remember how much you played. Luke, I know me and Ian played a good amount. I think you
barely any. I played set 1. So not a whole lot.
Yeah. I think I only played set 1 and 2.
So I watched Skara, and he plays TFT a lot because that was like his thing.
Yeah.
So I've seen other sets. I didn't explicitly know what was going on, but I've seen the evolution of TFT.
Yeah. So, but yeah, it was weird because like I lightly followed but didn't really pay attention. But like now coming back, I was like, oh, okay, cool. This is cool. I'll play for a bit. Play for the new set because I think I'm just kind of waiting for Halo, which we'll talk about that in a bit because they just dropped some campaign stuff and I'm freaking hyped. What else did I do? Oh, I watched Squid Games, so I finished that.
And everybody else.
Yeah,
dude, it's speaking of Squid Game happened, and I feel like every few months there's just suddenly everyone I know is watching a Netflix show. And I was browsing Netflix the other night and I saw, Tiger King season 2. So I'm sure that's going to be the next big one.
Season 2?
Yeah, I was also confused because like I don't know what else they're going to do.
Unless there's some follow-up, but
yeah, it's because I know like after Tiger King they had that one episode where it was like following up with people. Yeah. But this was like season 2, so I wonder what's gonna happen with that because that show went everywhere.
That was a COVID thing for sure. That was like when COVID like happened. I remember that was COVID all everyone, like early COVID. That's all everyone talked about when everyone got locked in and everything. But I watched it. I was like, okay, it's pretty good. Like I can see how it gets people. Because I know there's some other ones there's some other shows that have done some similar concepts, but this one did it pretty well, and I think that's why it was easy for people to just get it. If anything, because there's this other one that's like from Japan, and I like saw the trailer because my boss was talking to me about it because he watched Squid Games first, and he told me to watch. I was like, okay, cool, and I watched that trailer with him, and I'm like, this is anime as hell, and he's like, yeah, I think that's why.
Was it Alice in Borderland?
Yeah, that's the one. I was like watching. I was like, this is very Japanese.
Yeah, I mean, it's based off of a manga. I mean,
yeah,
so that's probably why.
That makes sense too.
It's a little.
It's very
more ridiculous.
Yeah, which I'm like, if you want to watch like another type of like whatever, I don't know even to call that genre. It feels like it's a battle royale, but like not. If you know what I mean. But yeah, I was like, okay, it was cool. It was fun. I think the ending was kind of weird, but overall, I was like, it was a good watch. It definitely got like the tension down, though. I was like, it kept me. I did keep wanting to watch more and more. But yeah, I guess we'll see if they do season 2. But it sounds like they will, but probably not anytime soon. What else?
What else?
What else?
What else?
Other than that, I think I just really just kind of chilled and we just kind of like watched anime and stuff or shows. Because I kind of did use the last 2 weeks to just kind of catch up on stuff, if anything, somewhat. But
didn't catch up on Worm, did you?
No, I didn't.
Dude, it's November next week.
Dude, it is scary. You're right.
You got, let me check, a month.
According to my calculation. According to my calculations, you're screwed.
According to my calculations, you're a filthy liar. Can't believe you.
What was it? Oh, I know what it did instead. I was like, what anime did I finish instead? I watched Tokyo Revengers way more. And that was actually really good. Because I started reading it, right? I was like, I read something else. What was it? That's why. But yeah. Other than that, nothing too crazy. It's more like I feel like we'll talk about things that dropped, if anything. Cough, cough.
As we usually do.
Yeah. What about you, Luke? What have you been up to? As it looks like you get darker in your setting.
Hang on. I have to leave again for like 1 second. My cat is freaking out.
Oh.
You freaking.
Do you freak out like that, Ian?
Poor kitty. Sometimes.
Sometimes, right? It's like,
yeah.
You have those moments, you know? It just.
Yeah.
It's like your innate instincts just like. That sounded redundant. But yeah, they just kicked in, you know?
Yeah. My innate
and you just go.
abilities.
You just sirens going off and everything.
Right.
It's insane.
Cat found a piece of paper.
That's usually what happens. Yeah.
Decided to just attack it, and it got into the water bowl, so I had to go take care of that because cats. Anyway, what have I been up to? I feel like I've just been adding to my backlog the past, because like Ian said, we had Darkest Dungeon 2, and I think I'll probably enjoy it more than Darkest Dungeon 1.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of interesting. They did a pretty big change in the way the system, like the way the game plays, because in Darkest Dungeon 1, you have like your hub city, and that's like your meta upgrade system. Like you finish your runs and you use the stuff you get to upgrade the town so things get better. And because of that, there's like, I don't know, 12 like classes or characters you pick. And they're the ones that are expendable in that, you keep getting a rotating cast of like Crusaders, Lepers, Flagellants, Vestal, all that. And it's different in Darkest Dungeon 2. You don't really have a hub city, and it's way more like per run base.
Okay.
Which I don't think I like that aspect, because I do like I like roguelikes where you have like a overall reason to like play the game and upgrade and stuff.
Like Hades?
Yeah, like Hades.
Yeah. That's a good one.
What I do like in Darkest Dungeon 2 is that you have one of each class basically, and that's like the character. Except so you get the one per run. So if they die, you're just out of that character. And I like that more because it feels more meaningful when you lose them. And I mean, that was like the point in Darkest Dungeon 1, is that you basically are like throwing characters into the like meat grinder.
Mm-hmm.
I just didn't like that. Like I personally didn't like having to manage like, okay, this is my old Crusader. I have 4 Crusaders to pick from, and I need to look at what they have in terms of skills and detriments, and just like, I don't care. I just like, this is my Crusader. I like running Crusader. We'll play with Crusader.
Okay.
The game looks really good because it has updated animation style, and it just looks really good. Looks really good. It plays really good based off. I've seen someone. The game came out in early access on Monday, and this person already has 50 hours. So they really like the
Oh my
game.
god.
So I feel watching them, I have a decent understanding of the game, and I'm really
Okay.
excited for it. It looks really cool.
Okay. Hell yeah.
Whether I'm going to get it for early access is a different question, because I also want to play whatever Ian's game was, Fallen Ashes, Resistance of the Flame thing. I can never remember. It is so weird that game just bounces off of my brain.
No, I was telling.
the title.
I don't think you hear it, because every time I saw Ian on, I'm like, I see the title, I'm like, yes, but I can never. I remember Ashes maybe, but like the entire time, I'm like, Dark.
But, yeah, so
and it's funny because Ashes isn't even in the title.
It's not.
It's not. I don't know.
Dang
why.
it. What was it? Oh my gosh. What? I hate this.
No, I mean that's it's just a name that's so generic it just gets lost.
Age of Darkness Final Stand. There we go.
Yes.
That's the one. Not me going onto his profile checking what he played last.
There's nothing.
There was right now what's going on in the trailer is the bigger thing I like about Darkest Dungeon 2 is, so the way it works is you have your run and you pick 4 characters and you have them for the whole run until they all die.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's a really strong focus on like inner character relationships, because they have relationships per each one.
Oh, okay.
And juggling that makes it really interesting, because obviously like you have dialogue options, but then you have perks if they're friendly towards each other, and then you get detriments if they hate each other. And it makes things way more interesting in terms of just like, because in Darkest Dungeon 1 you just wanted as many mathematical bonuses as possible.
Okay.
And now you can do that, but then you can get screwed over completely if your DPS and your tank hate each other and they like actively let each other die. And it's hilarious.
Okay.
But also,
the barbarian lady with the giant pole axe was my favorite.
The Hellion. Yeah. Hellion's cool. All the classes are just really well designed, both art and gameplay wise.
Yeah, I do see the first one's on sale right now because it's Halloween.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Oh, I bet.
Well, that game is also worth.
I was gonna say, would it be worth if I just picked it up, type deal? Or
yes, I like. It's a really fun game. It's really hard.
I figured. Yeah.
It
looks interesting from like
it's really fun. I think it.
Okay.
I don't know. How would you explain Darkest Dungeon as a genre? It's a roguelike city builder?
No.
I don't know. Because you're building up the city, but you're not. I don't know. It's hard, but like a lot of people based on difficulty alone will compare it to XCOM.
Okay. Okay.
It's like XCOM, but it's not tactics based. It's more like RPG like
turn-based.
Yeah,
is it more turn-based?
It's turn-based.
Okay.
And I even think it handles difficulty better than XCOM. I think it's just
$5. It's $5 right now.
I mean, it's worth it for $5.
Yeah.
It's also it's a game where you need to have the wiki open if you want to really start to understand stuff, because there's some things where they don't explain super well. But that's part of the fun, is like, oh, what if I just play completely blind like I did and I just get stomped?
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
But like I was saying, Age of Darkness was a game I knew about beforehand because I had been watching someone play it, and it looked really fun. And I've always like kind of sat on the fence of like, oh, do I want to get They Are Billions? And then Age of Darkness came out, and Age of Darkness has more of a like fantasy aesthetic than just like a zombie one like They Are Billions. And I don't know, I dig it more. Plus, I think it handles difficulty curves better. One of the big selling points is like Ian mentioned with the nightmares. You have nightmares that when a nightmare occurs and you have that detriment, Ian, is it permanent or is it only for the duration of the nightmare?
It's for the duration of the night.
Okay. But they like stack on each other, right?
No, it's just one perk. At least
Okay.
as far as I'm aware.
I can see why this is considered an RTS though. The more
Yeah, like you still have
I
to
can
build
see it.
stuff, and
No,
you
yeah.
like you're defending.
This is technically an RTS. Yeah,
Mhm.
that makes sense.
It's just like it's very much a single player RTS.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I mean, I like those though. I do
Yeah.
enjoy that aspect.
but yeah,
I don't
like
think
these
I'd be able
these
to
little
go
red
back and do
things
like a
popping
PvP
up,
thing anymore.
they're
so.
like a random negative effect that happens,
Ah.
which like it makes things fresh. And also, when you complete a nightmare, you get a permanent passive buff,
Mhm.
and so it makes things more interesting
Yeah.
between each run. And then the way, so I think They Are Billions was, at least to me, I don't know of any others, was one of the first single player RTSs that did the like gigantic horde setup. And the difficulty in the hordes is like very front loaded because they throw all the really big special zombies at you at first. And if you get through that, it's just a bunch of like regular zombies, which
Mobs.
are easy to kill.
Yeah.
But in Age of Darkness, it's always a constant mix of regulars and specials. So
Okay.
your strategy has to be more than just, I mean, your strategy is just build a bunch of turrets, but
Yeah.
you can still fail,
Mhm.
which makes it interesting.
I think I like the Age of Darkness aesthetic too. Like what you were talking about, how like it's high, like it's more fantasy,
Yeah.
if anything. Like
Yeah.
I do like that a lot. Looking at this now,
Medieval
it's more
fantasy.
medieval. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Like this
And
looks dope.
Dark
then
fantasy.
before that, there's Back for Blood. And a few of our friends have it. And I've been keeping up with Back for Blood.
Yeah.
And it definitely looks like just a fun thing to play.
Yeah.
Because
I've been on the fence.
I think
about that for a
everybody
while.
knows, Left 4 Dead was super fun.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
Back 4 Blood it's like the spiritual successor. And I think it is a good spiritual successor because it brings that formula into like a modern gamer age, and it feels fun. So I'm just sitting there like deliberating, like, okay, I have these 3 games in my backlog. Besides the other games I'm currently playing, which one do I want? Because I really only have time for one.
Mm-hmm. I think with Back for Blood, that's the thing though. It's like a matter of like if, for instance, one of you guys gets it, I'm like, all right, cool, I'll get it too. Then.
It just sucks.
Because
Like,
it's one of those it feels like it has to be a co-op thing. That's
yeah, 100%. Like,
yeah,
the bot AI is terrible.
yeah. But what's new? Like I remember that being a thing back in like Left 4 Dead also.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just sucks that it's a 4-player game, and I think with the number of people I know who are playing it, it's like there's going to be some weird number where not everybody gets to play in the group that they play with. So it's like, oh, well,
Yeah.
the struggles of a multiplayer game. And then there was the Gloomhaven board game that came out last week, maybe a week before. It came out very recently. And I really want to get that because I love the board game Gloomhaven. And so there was a single player Gloomhaven game that came out that wasn't really like Gloomhaven at all. But this one is like a direct 1-to-1. This is just Gloomhaven, the board game, the video game. And I'm 100% down with that.
Actually, yeah. What happened to the other one? It used to pop up, but it's not there anymore.
I mean, I think it came out. I think it was just, it came out, people played it, and it was like, oh, cool.
Yeah. But this one's like the legit.
Yeah, this is a board game adaptation.
Oh, this is cool.
I have 2 people who play it, and they've played the board game as well.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the board game without the necessary 2-hour setup for a scenario. So
yeah. And then like they could just handle all like the
it does
like,
all the moves and stuff, so
and
you can just play the game without it. Yeah, you don't need the rule book with you at all times.
Okay.
So I'm really interested in that. Once again, it's a 4-player game, which sucks if we get a lot of people who want to play it. But
is it normally like is the board game also actually 4 players?
I'm pretty sure it's designed for 4. I mean, you can technically play more than 4. I think scenarios are designed for a maximum of 4. It might be a
Okay.
higher max. I haven't played Gloomhaven in like 2 years,
Right.
but yeah,
Oh, okay.
super excited, especially because I was very slightly interested in that Dungeons and Dragons Dark Alliance game, and then that game turned out to be trash. So
Mhm.
it's like, okay, well, here's another like fantasy board game that I know is good that I'd want to play.
Yeah. This looks legit. Like
And
looking into it more, it is the board. Because I remember the old one was like it was like a first person thing or something. It was some weird thing. I was like, oh yeah, this is
it
not.
was kind of funky.
Yeah, I was like, this isn't a board game, but it's based off Gloomhaven. I was like, okay.
And like
Yeah.
it just reminds me also of it's basically Divinity with a lot of the clutter removed.
Yeah.
And I say clutter. Divinity isn't like a role playing game at its finest. So you have a lot of downtime between combat. Gloomhaven is just like the board game, it's combat, and then you deal with city stuff, and then you go straight back to a new scenario.
Mm-hmm.
And so the game itself, I think, has way more hours, but I think playing it feels faster.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. $34? That's not bad. Compared to like, wasn't the board game like
the board game is like $120,
$130.
$130.
Yeah. I remember like for the longest time you sat on it and you were like, do I get it?
Yeah, and then I ended up buying
and then you ended up getting it.
Because it's so good. It's a really well done game. I'm just glad that someone made a version that doesn't require setup,
board game
tear
stuff.
down, and reading a rule book for half the game.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking about that, and I see it in the corner of my eye, randomly, super randomly, in the past week. Ubisoft was like, "Hey guys, you remember Ghost Recon Breakpoint? We're making an update for it."
Yeah.
It's like, okay. It's like, hey, it's basically just Wildlands. It's like, what?
Yeah.
Oh, we're breaking up Aroa into sectors, and you basically just do it Wildlands style, where you go through and clear the entire map. So now I'm sitting in my head like, well, I guess I'm gonna reinstall Ghost Recon and see if it's fun.
Yeah.
Huh. Wild.
Everybody's just taking up my time now.
Lance.
So that's like 5 things I'm looking forward to in addition to playing Final Fantasy 14 and getting ready for Endwalker. So I just have absolutely zero time in my hands to like play other things.
Yay.
Yeah. I was gonna play more Final Fantasy this weekend, if anything. Because I tried to play it. It was the stupidest thing. I'm able to play on my laptop, but the thing is there was a setting that I didn't realize was on, and it like brought the frame rate down to 40 FPS. And the entire time I'm like, is this computer related or is this display? What is going on? Because at one point, like I had one of our friends over, and we were like LAN partying it up because we were waiting to go to dinner.
Yeah.
And it was playing fine, so I was really confused, and I didn't figure that out until like the last day before I left.
And
now I'm back home. Like, doesn't matter. I'll just be on my PC anyway. Otherwise, I would have been playing through like the post last couple weeks just to get through it, because I was like, it's not exactly turn off your brain, but you know what I mean. It's not like I had to engage too much. It's just playing an MMO. So until we do like trials and like stuff,
actual
like
endgame stuff,
which by the time I finish Endwalker comes out, it's like, okay, never mind.
I mean, I feel like, well, I don't know. They've said Endwalker is longer than base Shadowbringers.
Oh my god!
So we'll see. We'll see how long.
Yeah.
But then once we hit the end, we have to wait a while for 6.0 or 6.1.
I forget.
So.
Endwalker was supposed to come out last year. It was a later year, apparently. I read somewhere. It was like, oh, okay. Well, I think it was like the original intent was like they had to just push it back. And I'm like, wow, that gave me a whole year to like actually play the
I wouldn't be surprised if it got like good for me, because
I was like, good for us. Like we all got
I
to,
would not have been an Endwalker by now.
No. Yeah. So it worked out.
Yeah. That's what I've been up to. Let's talk about the good stuff.
The goodies.
The good news. Tell us the good news.
Ian.
Oh, I don't know. I thought we were just going to sit here in silence for another like 20 minutes and
We
then call
could
it
do
good.
that. We could do that.
Yeah.
There's some.
Or we could talk about DC Fandome.
Yeah.
Look at that segue.
Yeah.
Boom.
We
Ba-ba-boom.
can start there. I know it's a little late, but we all watched it.
And I think we're all excited for at least parts of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, like for a few things. Like because I knew the big stuff, but I had to actually sit down and look at like the little like the other announcements.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we were talking about this prior, but it felt like a lot of it was just because like due to COVID, they had to like still push some news out, and it's like, hey, this is still a thing, but it is still exciting to know like, okay, this is cool. There's potential. Hopefully, it's good. But I guess out of everything, I'm just curious what stuck out to you guys out of DC Fandome. Luke first.
I mean, what stood out to me the most was probably the Static Shock announcement.
Yeah.
'Cause we've talked about it a few times, like, oh, you remember
We
Static
have.
Shock? Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was just like, hey, we're still working on it. So that stood out to me because, radio silence. Because I expected Batman. And,
Yeah. Out of there's this few things that you're like, okay, I know this is a thing.
Yeah. That being said, Batman is what I'm most excited for because I really like Robert Pattinson.
I'm really like, it's so, there's going to be this weird disconnect when I watch it though. And I know this because I know he's a really good actor. That's the thing. Out of like the thing, like I know the biggest one recently was like The Lighthouse, but he's had other things and he's like been solid. But every time it's that weird, I don't think it's as bad for me, but I was talking to someone else about it and they're like, he's just a Twilight guy though. I'm like, no, it's not that anymore. That's like, no, we gotta get past that. Like legitimately.
He's had like 8 movies since
like he's
then,
actually
so.
like compared to like what was the other guy, Taylor Lautner, like at least like Robert Pattinson's gotten like has like good movies under his belt at this point, right? Like he's got
I think
some rep.
It's funny. I think Taylor Lautner did TV after that.
Yeah.
So
and that's like a whole nother thing because I watched like a BTS like on him and it's like pretty sad, but I'm super excited for Batman. If anything, he's gonna be the most psychopath, like psychotic Bruce Wayne.
They're hitting the like really interesting. It's basically like after Dark Knight Begins, but before Dark Knight, where he's like, "Yeah, I am Batman. I'm just a little baby bat."
Yeah.
And so it feels very. I don't know why. It reminds me of like the '90s Batman movies.
I could. It's because it feels like the setting too, though.
Yeah.
I
think just because it's like grittier and really our modern Batman has been the Nolan trilogy, which felt very like clean, excluding Dark Knight Begins.
Yeah,
but
it was like
something about it just looks amazing.
Yeah, and I agree with you. Like the vibe feels a lot more gritty. Just I like how they're. I say this because it's going to be the Riddler that's going to be the main dude, I would assume so far. And that's usually more, I remember them talking about it. They're like, oh, we're going to try to hit more of the detective aspect, which I'm like, that's also important because it's not just like, oh, Batman can fly around punching people. I think the biggest thing, he's supposed to be like the world's greatest detective. So I want him to like go deep into that. Because half the time, like they're always like, oh, let's look at my big screen in my tech. Everything's connected by the dots here.
Yeah.
But like I hope, this is my hope at least, like from what I could tell, like if it's Riddler, it's gonna be more Riddler-esque, if anything, and that'd be really cool.
Yeah, like I think the combo of Riddler and Penguin make it feel more grounded.
Yeah. So I think that's what's important right now. Like I think that's what people were pulled to for the Nolan trilogy, right? So, because it felt more modern, but it was like not superhero-esque in a sense, if you get what I mean.
Yeah.
But yeah, but overall, I am super hyped for this. I think it's funny because I saw the suit and I saw like Christian Bale's suit from Begins, and I was like, Begins looks like he's wearing rubber. It was weird. But I remember at the time we're like, damn, his suit's dope. like comparatively, right? Like it's like, oh, compared to like Clooney or something,
Dude,
compared to Bat
it's
Nips.
the suit, and I think the big part, and this is like when they first did the reveal, or they first did I don't know, like principal shooting, whatever it's called. Just like Robert Pattinson's jawline was built to be Batman, because it's just like,
It was
hey,
built for the cowl.
like 90-degree angle chin.
Yeah.
It's like, you get me. You got me.
Man.
But it just looks super good. Super excited.
Super hyped. Can't wait. I was gonna say I was also excited for the Suicide Squad game, or at least now I'm like, oh, it's piqued more of my interest, because now I'm like, okay, it's the guys that made the Batman games, right? Or at least the dark, I don't know how to call it. All of a sudden.
ones,
Arkham games, yeah, Arkham games. So it's interesting because it's just like, oh, it's cool. We finally get to hear more about it again. I think now we actually got to see not just like Superman at the end of the last trailer, but like, oh, the Justice League is actually a thing. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, I think.
Yeah, I figured the games for you would be the biggest ones, because they had this one and they had the Arkham Knights.
I'm hesitant about that one though. I'm like,
really?
I'm so as much so I love Court of Owls. I love the fact that they have Red Hood again as a playable character. I'm like, that's dope. But the game itself, though, is still kind of like, if like with Suicide Squad, I'm like, all right, I guess I have some more faith in this, because it's like, okay, I know their track record. Besides Arkham Knight was like that iffy one, but everything else, I'm like, okay, we'll see how it goes. But it looks really good. I think a nice spin, because now it's like, at first you think Suicide Squad game, okay, that sounds kind of, to me, it sounded kind of dumb, as like, what's going to happen, like. Is it going to be like the movies at this rate, or what's going on? No, it's even better. So this looks, I don't know. I guess it looks really dope. I think Arkham Knights is possibly going to be good. I just hope they don't just doesn't become jank. But look, they're going to have two games that they fall back. It's like, oh, look, one of them's good at least, or both of them are bad. We'll find out. But
yeah, like I guess like I'm more excited for Suicide Squad, but I think that's just because it feels more video gamey in a good way than Arkham Knights.
Arkham Knights, I don't know. It just feels like I also don't like the art style too much on Arkham Knights. It's kind of like, it's like okay. It's not like it's terrible, but it's also not like this.
Gotham Knights.
Thank you. The entire time I was like, it's not Arkham Knights. It's
this is how little I've been paying attention. It's like,
I was
I'm
like,
just gonna
something's like going off in my head. I was like, it's not. It's Gotham Knights. Yes, we have a chat. I have a separate chat with one of my other friends, and we jokingly call it Gotham Knights, because we're like, this is, but yeah, it's. I don't know. I'm like hesitant, but I'm also excited, because I'm like, I like Court of Owls, but also kind of sad because I'm like, kind of wanted it to be like this level.
Imagine if it's a bad adaptation. You just say,
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
We're never getting that again.
Exactly. That's my one thing. I'm like, damn, it'll be like that storyline that will never get touched again, because it was, yeah. But this is one of the things I'm excited for besides Batman, because also Batman really. Anyway.
Ian, anything stand out for you?
Yeah, I mean, there was the Flash movie.
Yeah, looks hype, but
the difference in trailers, and obviously, like Black Adam was a teaser trailer, but they maybe I haven't been paying attention to what they were going to talk about for the Flash movie. Spoilers for the Flash movie. It's like Flashpoint. I was not expecting that, and I was hoping, or I would have rather they didn't show that it's Flashpoint, because like in Black Adam, it was like a minute, you showed nothing. It's just, look at Black Adam, he's a badass, spooky, scary guy, and I don't know too much about Flash. I do know what Flashpoint is, and so I feel like the reveal would have been better in the theater, but That's just not how modern trailers work. The suit looks cool. I do like the suit.
The suit looks really dope. I'm really hyped for it. It's just like one of those, like, it's because it's DCEU, and I'm like, all right, hopefully. We were talking about our other reports. I'm like, he said a good point. There's a lot of stuff that they're dropping right now, and I'm like, it's super exciting. I just want it to be good. I really just want everything to be good. Like, everything's really hype. I'm like, please don't fumble it anymore.
Well,
I'm tired of this.
It's so weird too, because like you have the DCCU, and I think the DCCU. Batman is different. It's like a separate thing.
And
it just looks. To me, the Batman is already going to be like, all right, this is great. And then with the DCCU cinematic universe, it's like, I'm feeling iffy about this.
Yeah, and I think it's just because you get like, it's like that bad taste in your mouth after a few.
Yeah, and it's clearly just like a bad taste.
Like there's some good ones. There are good ones. That's the thing. But it's just that we've had a lot more like things that overshadow like little things here and there. And then, but yeah, I'm really excited for Flash because I feel like it. When you brought up like how like. I guess for me, I already knew that was Flashpoint for a while, but I don't remember how I knew. I don't remember if I read it somewhere or if it like they announced something, but I knew it was about Flashpoint already. So when I saw it, I was like, okay, cool, we get some more info on this.
Gotcha.
Yeah, but that's also because like I think I follow a bit more than you, but also I'm like, where did I find out about again? Because I don't remember if it was like I found out because it was a rumor, and this was like, actually, what if this was a legit first timer? But. I feel like they announced it or something. But yeah, but Black Adam was like one of those like, okay, cool. They finally dropped something because that has been in limbo. It felt like it's been in limbo for forever, but it's like The Rock was like, no, we're actually doing this. No, I'm going to be the Black Adam. It's going to be the most amazing thing ever.
Did we all see Shazam or no?
I saw it.
Ian, did you? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought Shazam was funny.
I thought Shazam was a fun movie.
I guess I'm okay with more in the Shazam universe.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how I feel about The Rock though.
It's like one of those like The Rock. So The Rock, seeing it conceptually, dope.
Works.
I'm like, this works.
Yeah.
But my one issue and my one worry is, what if he plays The Rock?
We're gonna get Black Adam with the like raised eyebrows, smolder. It's like, huh?
We're gonna get that. No, man. I'm like, it has promise, but I have that. It's just because it's like, oh, what if he is just playing The Rock? But
Hobbs and Shaw in the DC cinematic universe.
Yeah, but I mean, otherwise, I'm like, cool. It's finally a thing. I'll just take it at this point. And then like, you know how there's a Shazam 2? I want to know the tones of these, right? Because Shazam's like, the movie so far has been like very funny. It's been somewhat lighthearted, actiony. While like this one, I'm kind of curious.
Seems darker, yeah.
Seems darker, which I mean he should be in comparison to like Shazam, right? Because he's usually like
you would think at some point, if they are going to continue with the DC cinematic universe, that they're going to go darker because DC plot lines tend to get really dark.
Yeah,
so
they can, yeah. So, or at least like a lot of more of the modern stories, they get much either darker or just like
I'm assuming that they're trying to do what Marvel did in that like they do a culmination arc where like, oh, at some point they're gonna fight Apocalypse maybe or not Apocalypse
again. Or
brain fart. What is his name?
Darkseid.
Darkseid.
Okay.
Why did I say Apocalypse?
Because that's also a movie too that deals with Darkseid.
But if they did that, or even if they did like, for some reason, let's introduce Trigon. Let's just do Trigon as the big bad evil guy for the arc.
That'd be so weird.
That'd get like DC would have to get darker eventually.
Eventually, yeah. And I will say this time and time again, if they just did what the animated series did. Yes.
That's because they actually cared about the animated series. Those are actually really good.
Those are actually really good, and it makes me really upset. I'm like, you guys have the blueprint right there. You have the... Anyway.
But
Yeah, excited for that. Yeah, Young Justice dropped. I thought that was cool. There was something else. Oh my gosh, something that weird. Oh yeah, I don't know why I'm excited for this, but I'm really excited for Peacemaker. I think it just looks. I think it just looks hilarious. Did you guys watch the new Suicide Squad?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I saw that, and
So-
I saw the trailer for Peacemaker.
I was like, cool. Like, I'm not. It's just like a pleasant surprise for me, at least. I'm just like, okay, cool. I'll probably watch this because it looks hilarious.
Yeah, I'll might watch it.
It's like one of those. I'll give it a
Probably.
shot. I'll
Yeah.
probably give it a shot, and we'll see how it goes. But then again, I have this stupid backlog.
I guess like the big thing is like Peacemaker to me. Like I really liked Peacemaker in the new Justice League. I guess just like I didn't need to see more.
Yeah, it is
so-
definitely one of those. Yeah, but that's why I was like, I'll give it a shot. I thought he was funny in the movie. Like Suicide Squad is good as is with that.
Mhm.
Sure, why
But
not?
Now this is like the third superhero show that's like, what if bad superhero?
Yeah, no,
'Cause
yeah.
We've got The Boys, we've got Invincible, now we have Peacemaker.
I don't think it'll be at that level though. It'll probably just be more comedic.
No, it's
in
not just like
comparison.
there's like.
But
three of
no,
them
I get
now,
what you
so
mean.
it's
But I
like-
get what you mean though.
it's like,
Yeah,
are we going down this route now? Are we gonna have a bunch of these now?
we're gonna have a lot of anti-heroes, all that stuff.
Yeah.
But see, yeah. But all of the, I know they dropped like concepts for Batgirl. They dropped
Mhm.
one for Blue Beetle. Which I'm like, all right, cool. I don't. I think trailers do things for me, but then when I see concepts, I'm like, cool. But this can easily get scrapped like down the line. You know what I mean? Like at least a trailer or teaser is like, okay, it's almost there,
Yeah,
but that can also easily
physical.
get scrapped. Like, yeah, it's like, all right, we're taking the steps to actually do this.
Who was it?
But
There was someone. They were yelling at me on Twitter. It was really funny because they're talking about DC, and I
Yeah.
commented, and we got into it like,
oh, it was a thing. Do a thing.
because it was basically like, yeah, for DC, really all I care about is Green Lantern, and mainly like the original animated Teen Titans, but I do like in the animated series, I do like the way they've handled Teen Titans.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, everything else is trash, and then they got upset. So it was funny. It was like it was all in fun, but it was just like,
yeah.
how dare you watch all of these? It's like, okay, I'm sorry.
Oh no.
And that's how I feel about DC. Still, give me Green Lantern, and then we can talk.
That'll be
Which
a
is
long
probably
time.
why I'm more
That's gonna
excited for the just Suicide Squad game. Is like, hey, at least there's Green Lantern.
At least there's Green Lantern. Yeah, I mean, I want them to do more Green Lantern, but I think they're very scared to do it. I think they're just like hesitant. Like, I think it was rumored, or they said they would, but it's like one of those like eventually type things.
And like,
It's been a while.
the original came out so long ago.
Yeah,
I feel like
I think we're far enough.
People are gonna make jokes, and you just need to get over the fact that people are gonna make jokes about the first one.
Yeah.
Especially
Like at most, it's just funny when Ryan does it. But
yeah, I don't think they'd even recast him.
Yeah,
I feel like I thought they wanted to do a different Green Lantern anyway.
They should totally do like Jon Stewart or or I feel like I don't know why they said Guy. The name Guy, is it Guy Gardner? Like I don't know why his name's popping up, but I mean they could. Why not? But
Hal Jordan is kind of lame compared to the other Green Lanterns.
He's just like he's like the OG, right? But there's like some other. I want them to explore the core, if anything. Just give us more of the core and just like have a vehicle, like one character we just follow, but focus on like the team. I think that's way cooler.
Then you could just do the Blackest Night timeline, so you can have all of the Justice League and all the DCU characters.
That should be the big event. Night. I want to see that as their big event for sure. That should be one. I want that.
Yeah, that's what I want, but I never get what I want.
Soon. Soon, TM. Anything else cool? Because I know That was all.
Do you want to talk about Halo?
I mean, I'm excited.
Do you want to argue about Halo? That's the energy I've got. I did not like that video.
Oh, the campaign thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not feeling it.
I'm still hesitant about the whole open world thing. I think that's still kind of weird. I want the tight story again. Like, I'm happy that it's Master Chief. Like, they're hitting points. I'm excited, but I'm also like, there are things where I'm like, all right, is this just going to be like a Ubisoft game though? You get what I mean? It's like, let's hit these camps.
I get.
And I'm like, all right.
Like, here are these outposts you can clear. I was like, no, not again.
Yeah.
I am not.
That's like my one. That's the one thing I'm not vibing with that. I think this would be a fun sandbox to play with your friends. But to what extent, right? Like, at that point, I'm like, then let's just play multiplayer.
You bet I can't play with my friends on release. Because like,
yeah, no,
they've said bad. Open world. They've also made comparisons to it's like the silent cartographer level from I think
it'll
Halo
be like
1.
CE. Yeah, it'll be like it's supposed to be more like
it's
CE.
Like the levels are big enough to feel open world, but it's still like got some sort of overall the way they use it is there's a golden path.
Yeah. And I think some of the set pieces look really. So there's a lot of aspects. I like that they're bringing in the Banished. I think that's better than what we've been getting. I like that the focus is on Master Chief. I like being able to, like, I think like doing stuff that's like Master Chief-esque. I think that's the fun part. Like Silent Cartographer is like what they're trying to strive for. I'm like, cool. But I keep going back to the moment I heard these are outposts. I'm like, if that's all the missions, I'm going to be really upset. But then again, I'm like, how upset can I be? Because the bar is so low right now compared to like Halo 5 and all that. Like, I don't like Halo 4 or 5. I know some people like, I like Halo 5's multiplayer, but everything else I'm like, meh. So I'm hopeful, but still kind of hesitant because that's also one of those, like, I get Game Pass for like a month and I'll play the story at least. And if I like it enough, cool, I might buy it again. Who knows? But yeah,
it's like it's a two-part for me where they talk about like, yeah, you're gonna be clearing outposts. It's like, all right, you've lost like a full grade if I'm having to deal with outposts. And then the main NPC, what looks and sounds like the main NPCs year round, the guy.
Oh, like the dude and the
basically fake Cortana. It's like, all right, I hate this already. I don't like it.
I'm okay with, well, so far, I say this. So far, I think the new Cortana is like a nice change of pace. Because I think the last few have been kind of a downer with her. Because it's all, like, the last few is like, oh no, she's degrading, blah, blah, blah. So it's like kind of like a nice change of pace, the way I think of it. But I also don't know if she's going to be one of those, like,
Well, so in this trailer, they're showing the blue one, which is the new one.
Yeah, the new one.
But they're also showing purple Cortana, which I'm assuming is actual.
It's the old.
Cortana.
Yeah, it's actual Cortana.
That's
so they're probably using her as like a foil.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
That's what I'm wondering, if they are going to play up that Chief is walking around with a replacement Cortana and how he feels about that. And if it's not addressed like meaningfully, why didn't you just use a different AI? Because they've had different AI in the series before. So like, I don't see why it has to be a Cortana XP unless it's like actually important.
No, I'm pretty sure it is.
They haven't said
the big
anything,
thing is
so I'm hoping, but also their track record in terms of writing makes me worried.
Yeah, but I guess we'll see. And I think that's the one thing is like, I hope the story is really good, because I don't like, as much I liked Metal Gear 5 for the fact that I'm like, okay, cool, we get to have player experiences. But because this is like, for me, I have a bigger tie with Halo, I wanted to have like that somewhat linear but like solid storytelling, right? Compared to, like, again, I think it's just like, Fallout 4 as much. I guess I just wasn't a big fan, but I get that was not. It was okay. 5 was like the track record. Yeah, the track record for 3 has not been the greatest. So I guess we'll see. But otherwise, I'm pretty as down as I am on certain things. I'm pretty hyped for it because I'm like, okay, it seems pretty good compared to what we've had a year ago. Like we're gonna have like dope moments. I guess I just hope that there's a lot to do in this sandbox versus just like here, look, like this stuff is dope to see, but it's like oh, this is all player experience. You know what I mean? So I just hope that I just want it to be like it's like the DC thing. I'm like, I just want it to be good.
Yeah.
But then again, I play multiplayer a whole lot, so we'll see. Like I'm more of a PvP versus PvE. But a lot of our friends like playing like co-op stuff eventually, so I'm like, all right, cool, we'll do that soon. But again, that won't happen for like 2 months. So, or I forgot which one's first. I think Forge is first and then co-op. I think that was the order. Yeah. But otherwise, I'm like, but overall, compared to a year ago, I'm like, this looks way better compared to what we got.
The year they spent on polish definitely did them a lot of favors.
Yes, because it's nice to know like there's a lot of positive, like it seems the reaction has been a lot more positive than what it was a while back. Like a year ago, it was like kind of like hesitant, but also memey. Yeah. But now it's like more like, oh, okay, all right, I can back this. But I think also a lot of people, I've been guilty of this. I think a lot of people are like, oh, this is infinite. We'll have a long time for them to polish it. I'm like, but also remember what you get is what you get. Like, I think we have to have that mentality. Otherwise, yes, I'm excited.
Yeah.
Dude, I keep seeing it in the recommendeds.
Is it?
But Lightyear?
Lightyear. I knew it. I was like, damn.
That's.
Have you guys both watched it? Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's it just seems weird to me.
Yeah, it's a weird. Chris Evans is playing him too. I was like, oh,
very out of nowhere. Yes, yeah. Chris Evans
was like, oh,
Lightyear.
Everyone's freaking out more about the fact that he has hair. Because like for the longest time, I also thought Buzz Lightyear was bald. I don't know why, but it's just because he's had the thing over his head for so long, like the purple, But yeah, it's also confusing. I'm like, is this supposed to be who the toy's based off of? Because if so, then this seems pretty modern for what it was.
Said this inspired the Buzz Lightyear Toy Story. Like this inspired the Buzz Lightyear toy
line. Yeah.
So,
which seems pretty futuristic,
is like a real life in universe.
thing.
Yeah, I think they said like, as a kid, Andy would watch this movie and then want a Buzz Lightyear toy, something like that.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah, so that's what it is. It just seems, for what we had with Toy Story, this seems very futuristic. That's the one thing I'm very confused about.
It could just be that I'm like watching a lot of Star Wars stuff. But that scene where Buzz was like peeking over the log or whatever, and then the like X-wing thing was sitting in the forest. It was like straight from like, what was it, Dagobah? Where like Luke goes to meet Yoda. Sorry, too much Star Wars recently, which is a good thing. Also,
that's not
Lady Lightyear. And then they touch fingers like E.T. Interesting.
Dude, the cat.
If they don't reference the Buzz Lightyear cartoon, then it's trash. That's all I have to say.
Whoa, what a throwback.
If people are going to be like, look, it's the first like woman Lightyear, it's like, no. It was like
that whole.
It was like Nora Novis or something.
Yeah, something like that.
That was like 20 years ago, guys. Get with the times.
Angry. I remember that.
Yeah, I remember watching that cartoon a lot.
Watching that like religiously because it was so cool.
You guys are a bunch of boomers. I'm just a zoomer over here, not knowing what you're talking about.
You ain't a zoomer. Don't lie to me. You're more boomer than me.
I don't know what you're talking about.
He's got the boomer glasses.
He's got the boomer glasses.
Dude, I got him. Got him right here.
But
That's all
actually,
I got.
What
that's all I got too. Lightyear was the other one.
What? What are you kids talking about?
TikTok, Zip Zop.
TikTok 6.
Zip Zop.
Yeah.
Man,
I don't know. It was just weird. Lightyear, I didn't.
It was
bizarre. Unexpected. It was
It's
an
bizarre.
unexpected thing.
It's unexpected.
I remember, but I remember seeing it announced. I guess like in one of their like, the movie lineups and stuff. I think I don't remember now. It could be a fake memory at this point. I was like, yeah.
We're living in a.
This is all a
pandemic.
simulation.
It's all simulation.
True facts.
But that's all I got. I think that's all we got. Ian.
Yeah, there's nothing else I'm thinking of right now.
Sounds good.
Yeah. Something else I did that I forgot to talk about while I did it. I finished Visions, and Visions is really sick. It's very cool, and I highly recommend.
Yeah. One of my other coworkers texted me out of nowhere. He's like, "Have you watched Visions?" I was like, "Actually, no." He's like, "Watch it." I was like, "Oh, okay."
It's sick.
It's like, hell yeah.
It's
on my
good.
infinite backlog of
the ever-growing backlog.
Ever-growing backlog. Love it.
We should have a shirt that no one will buy. We'll buy the shirts. But it'll just say like my backlog is something and maybe make like a penis joke or something.
No, we just have my backlog and it's on your butt.
Yeah. But you have to have a big butt.
You have to have a big butt. Yeah, I was like, but you have to have a dump. You have to have a dump. You have to have a dumpy.
All right. Well, if we're done, then as always, it's time to get food. So, everybody, everyone who's listening, thank you for listening. You can tweet us any topic suggestions or questions at SuperBoss Podcast, at SuperBoss Pod. Never mind. If you're on YouTube, you can hit the like button, comment, subscribe. Tell us how we're doing. Tell us what's going on. Tell us if our opinions are wrong.
They're always wrong.
Yeah, and tell us why.
Wrong.
All right. Well, thanks again for tuning in. And this is the SuperBoss Podcast signing out.
Bye.